everybody's staring for days.
You are. Good afternoon, wherever you're watching me. My name is Yetunde once more, and you're welcome to my today's virtual events. I hope you're enjoying the weather wherever you are, whether you're in Africa, Asia, America, or in the UK or in Europe. So welcome to the today's show. And today's show, I will be talking about how you can navigate your way around in your new environment when you're thinking about study abroad. Now, before I continue, I would encourage you, please, if you've not subscribed and you're watching me right now, please click on the subscription button, very easy, down below the YouTube channel, and then like, share to any friends, loved ones, or family members you think would need a study abroad information, or you can share to any of your friends who are already abroad or who are looking to get major information on how to integrate more. Once more, my name is Yetunde, and you're welcome to Peel Empowerment with Yeti TV. Previously or currently or in any time, I always do mention that this channel was created to support people, support members of the public. It's also a way of us to share ideas for every one of us to also talk about topics and pressing issues, and of course, talk about study abroad to empower each other. So I hope you are going to be sitting right now. Get your tea or coffee if you're in a cold region, or if you're in a very, very warm and temperate environment, just get your cold water or your cold drink, relax, and then watch me. In my last video, I had a very, very good visitor, a very good person. Well, hi, Desmond, thank you for joining. Who joined us and talked about great opportunities in the UK and how you can tap into that opportunities. So I would encourage you, if you've not watched my previous video, please don't miss out. All you need to do is to check my previous video, check them, watch them at any time you want, learn from them. And if you have any questions, drop your question at the comment section, and I will always go back there to reply you as soon as I can. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Desmond, for joining. I hope you subscribe. Hi, Adiola. Thank you so much for joining me today. You're welcome to Peel Empowerment with Yeti. If you've not liked this video, please do me the favor of liking the video, subscribe, and share to any of your family members. So today is how to navigate around and how you can integrate into the new environment you find yourself. Now, if you're watching me right now, you might be in the UK, or probably you are in the US, or you're in Canada, or probably you are in Australia, or you might even be in Nigeria or in Ghana or in Kenya watching me right now. There are different things you need to know if you're looking to integrate. Hello, Gina. Thank you so much for joining. Now, integration is a very big thing. Integration is something that is quite important, especially if you are the person who likes to explore, if you're someone who likes to integrate, if you're somebody who is looking to move further in life. You know, there's something that people do say, there's an adage that they do say, if you want to change the world around you, the best impact you can make is to make impact in people, network, and make friends. Because whoever your neighbor is, you don't know what that person or what good that person could do for you in the future. So please bear with me, and thank you so much for joining. Desmond, thank you, Adiola. Thank you, Gina. I so much appreciate you for coming every time and joining me on this session. As I mentioned, if you have any question, please drop your question on the live chat, and I will take your questions one by one. I'll answer them. And if you have any contribution today to give, for every one of us here to learn from you, because I personally, I'm learning from you as well. You're learning from me. We're all learning from each other. And I hope with this show, we can come together, move to a greater height. So let's get started. I will be saying a very short time. This video is going to be very short. So please, I encourage you to drop your questions on the chat before it comes to an end. Now, one of the things I've always talked all the time is integration. And me talking about integration, I've talked about how you can access study opportunity in the UK. I've talked about how you can get job opportunity In my previous video, I also gave examples of links, example of agencies that you can actually go to, website you can go to get opportunities. Hi, Bimi Sola. Thank you so much for joining me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. God bless you, my sisters, brothers, loved ones who are currently on the show. I love you all. So I'm going to be talking about, what you need to know to integrate into an environment. There's one thing that always works for me, and it's something that I like sharing to other people. There is power in integration. There is power in speaking up and asking for help. There's power in asking questions when you don't know what to do, or when you find yourself in a certain situation, or you find yourself in a very new environment different from where you're coming from. Integration. And this covers either our social life, our work life, or our dress sense. Now, the question you might be asking me right now: how does my social life have an impact on how I integrate? First thing you need to know is when you're relocating, you're leaving your current country. Remember, you are moving into a place where you don't know anyone at all. In fact, you might know someone, but you don't know everybody around you. And then you wonder, you think to yourself, hi Adele, hi Inka, thank you so much for joining. You're welcome to today's show. Don't forget, if you're watching me right now, please click on the subscribe button if you've not subscribed. Share to your friend, like. Don't be the only one listening to me today. Share to anyone who would need this opportunity. Now, as I continue to mention, it's about integration. And you say to yourself, what do you need to do in order to make things, in order to integrate into the real environment? There are a lot of things you can find yourself doing. And those things is by making friends and ensuring that you are able to talk to people and find a better way, to build yourself in the system. An example is living in the UK, for instance. I will take my own personal example. The first time when I came into this country, into the UK, I know no one, I didn't know any friends. I mean, I had some of my aunties then, I had someone who I've communicated with. But what I tried to do, or what I did, was I was able to communicate to people. I was able to look for numbers online. I was able to look for a particular environment. I will talk about those examples of environment which you need to know. Now, in the past, or probably currently, I have some of my students who will call me and say, "Hey, Tunde, I'm moving into this new environment. I don't know anybody. I don't know any auntie. I don't know any uncle." And this is what I tell them: you don't need to know everyone in the world if you are looking to move into a new environment. It's as easy. I mean, it's as easy for me to say, especially if it's someone who is, for someone who is outgoing. For you who is kind of reserved, if you're a reserved person, you might find it very difficult to look for people's number, to call them, to allow people, I'll be coming into this country. What do I need to know? How do I need to navigate myself? How do I need to navigate around the new environment? But I will teach you the tips and what you need to know when you're looking to integrate into a new environment. And there's one thing I tell my students: you don't have to keep quiet. It's very easy. For instance, if you're looking to study and you're coming into a new environment, the first thing first you need to do is to make research. If you remember in my previous videos, research is something I do stress on. There is power in knowledge. And how do you get knowledge about the new environment you're going to? You need to research about where you're going to. You need to know about the groups or the society or the organizations that are there. You need to know about any religious group or any social group that are there, and people you can access when you easily need help. And that's the way you integrate. And that's the way you meet people and network. Without that, it becomes very difficult if you're looking to go to another country or you're looking to transfer into a new environment. Now, one thing that my students do talk about is the educational system. How do you navigate your way around the educational system? Now, if you look at my past videos, I do encourage you, if you've not watched my past video, please go back and watch them, because there's so many things, there's so much you can learn from it. First of all, if you're coming to study abroad, or probably you're migrating for work purpose, there is a need, a very big need for you to understand where you're going to. And the first thing first you should do when you're coming to the country is to drop your ideology of how your system work back home and have it in your mind, at the back of your mind, that you're coming into a new system where you need to learn so many unwritten rules. I mentioned in my previous videos that no one will call you and say, "Hi, Gina. Hi, Adiola. Hi, James. Hi, Bemisola. This is how things work." Nobody will tell you. Now, we expect, or the environment or the society expect, that you as an adult, you're matured enough to identify opportunities and being able to ask and make research whenever you need to, or whenever you need help or support. And that is why I do encourage people around me. I encourage my students, I encourage anyone who seek advice from me or who need mentorship on how to migrate, what I need to do when I'm coming to study, how I need to integrate the system. And what I do tell them is there is power in you researching, there is power in you asking, and there is power in you seeking for support when you need that support. Now, let's talk about the first point, which is the educational system. How do you integrate? Now, if you are coming to study, you need to remember something. If you're doing a study abroad, you're tapping into the study abroad opportunity, you need to understand something, that your system back home will always, I repeat again, will always be different from where you are coming from. And that's why, for instance, you see I've had some of my previous students who would struggle at the first instance when they come into the UK, or some of them who have ended up going to the US or going to Canada, who don't understand the educational system. Some of them struggle at the first instance. Why? Reason because they've not had that time to read, to research, to understand the educational system when they come in, when they first get into the country. And it's one of the advice I'm advising you right now. If you're back home or you're currently here, you find yourself still struggling to understand how the system works. Please, please, and please, the best thing for you to do is to make research on how the educational system works. Let me take an example. If you're coming to study in the UK, there are so many things you need to know. Back home, there's something they call la cram la pour, where you in your system, your lecturer gives you what to read, what to write, and then your own job is just to read them, cram them, and then get into the exam hall and pour everything as you're giving. But I can tell you, or to bust your bubble, it doesn't work that way in the Western world. It's very easy. Now, very easy to some people can be a bit tough. Now, what do you need to know about the educational system and how can you navigate your way around? Now, for any course you are looking to study, you need to remember one thing: your la cram la pour ideology back from Africa or maybe back from Asia or wherever you're coming from needs to be left or kept at the border. But when you come in, you need to understand something. The way educational system works here is when you're giving something by your lecturer to read or to understand, you need to read them, you need to make more of your own research, and then when it comes to your exams or come to your coursework, you need to put your own understanding of what you've been given. Now, you might be watching me right now and you feel, I don't think this is necessary. I just want to leave. I just want to japa, as people will say, japa. Now, it's not about just, moving out of your country, but you also need to know that the more you understand the new country, the better for you and the easier for you and it's easier for your own family to also integrate into that environment. So if you're coming to study, remember, first of all, you need to understand the educational system. And once you know that, the sky will definitely be your limit. I remember my own personal example when I came to do my master's here. At first, I thought the system was more or less like, let me just read whatever my lecturer gives me on the presentation slide, I'll just fall back. But let me tell you, my first lectures, I was shocked. There was no notes. Unlike the system I was used to, where my lecturers will have to read a whole lot of chunk of notes and then we start writing, dictating in the class. But when I got here, it was more or less like a bullet point on PowerPoint, and there was nothing to cram. And the only information you had to cram was just few points. And it took me a lot of months, it took me weeks, even days, months for me to understand the educational system. Not until I started asking questions, asking people. For instance, my first results, they were actually terrible. You wouldn't want to hear what my first results were. Trust me, you wouldn't want to hear. The first time I came in, it was more or less like that grade. I cannot say it, please. Don't even bother asking me. But later, I began to, learn. I began to read into and dig into how the educational system is here in the UK. And I began to realize something that is not just about what my lecturers are giving me, but about how well I can prove myself, how well I can do my research, how well I can read and gain more knowledge. It's about testing what you have upstairs and how well you can attract or get those informations to solve the real world problems. And that was how I got my breakthrough. Trust me, from having 30, 40 over 100, please, I'm not Olodo. I don't think like that. I moved into having 98 over 100. So that's how it works. It's not about la cram la poor. And if you're watching me right now, you're coming to study, please let that be your number one thing you should work on, understanding the educational system. Let's move on to the next part, social life. Now, we understand that when we are coming from Africa, whether Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, one thing that comes into our mind is, I'm coming to study. I need to just focus on that thing. I'm not more doing any other thing. Or your dependents, of course, will be working to get more money to save up to whatever you are bringing from your home country. But one thing you also need to understand, there is so much power in networking. Don't forget, I mentioned one first point, educational system. Understanding that. The second one is work on your social life. Now, I'm very sure I can't see your faces right now, but I know some of you will be smiling. How do I work on my social life? I'm married. Like, what do I need a social life for? But I can tell you that the social life is very, very important. Hi, Abatox. Thank you so much for joining me. Adelaide, thank you so much for joining me. Please, I'll pick your questions. I do encourage you, please drop your question on the chat. After a few minutes, I'll pick up your questions and answer them. So, what do you need to know about the social life? It is very important. I do say something. The United Kingdom, for instance, not just United Kingdom, even in the US or China as well, or Australia, New Zealand, these are the countries where you end up studying in the university and you meet people from different countries. The United Kingdom is extremely diverse, very, very diverse. And that's one thing that makes the UK stand out. It's not just the UK. US as well can be very diverse, especially when you're going to do your master's, your undergrad, your PhD. You tend to meet people from different countries, whether from Ukraine, people from Russia, people from America, people from India, China. When you talk about UK, you meet people from different background. Oh my God. And there's one thing I tell people, don't just come and get your degree and leave. Don't just come and get your degree. Come to class, learn, and then go to your family and just make friends with your family or people from another country. There is a lot of power in making friends with people that are from different countries. I'll tell you an instance. Now, when I studied in Glasgow, I did my studies in Glasgow. I'm currently with University of Lincoln, working there. And even as a staff in University of Lincoln, I enjoy every bit of it because of the networks I've made. Now, not just that, when I was studying, I remember having people from different nationalities in my classroom. We had people from India, we had people from, Nigeria, we have come from people from Ghana, from South Africa, Zimbabwe, Malawi. And I can tell you, those relationships were very useful and they are still useful to date. I will tell you why. Because you don't know who you might be sitting with. You'll be surprised that you end up sitting with maybe one of the governors or a minister's child from another country. And by the time you finish your master's, you finish your undergrad, and you're looking to do a business, and you say it to yourself, you know what, I want to expand to another country. It is those partnerships, it is those relationships that you have built at the time when you were in classes or when you were doing some businesses or in church. Those are the relationships that will work for you at the end. How will this work? Now, let's be factual, let's be sincere with ourselves. Where do we meet people? We meet people in social places. We meet people in educational system sector. We meet people at work. Now, if you are not the kind of person that likes networking, please try. Try to build yourself. Learn to network. Especially if you're someone who will end up, you see yourself doing businesses in other countries, or you want to be multinational. Don't keep to yourself. Don't let it be me, my wife, and my children alone. Me, my wife, and it's don't live like a triangle life when you're coming to study. Triangle life: my home, my school, my church, my home, my school, my church. It can be detrimental to you. But if you're someone who make friends, now I'm not saying you should be a talkative. You don't need to be the talking type before you make friends. In your class, you have people from other countries, even people who have come from the same Ghana or Nigeria like you. You'll be shocked to know their background. You'll be shocked to know the extensive experience they have. You'll be shocked to know the talents they have. And you'll be shocked to know the kind of gifts they have that you can gain or tap something into. Let me tell you an example. For instance, I studied in Glasgow, Cali, and during my time in the university, running my master's degree, I met friends from India. I met friends from Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, South Africa. And I can tell you, because of the personal relationship I had with them till date, I still talk to them, we still chat. And if I decide to say, you know what, I want to go to Zimbabwe because I have a friend there, and I met that friend at that time when I was studying. And that's how you build those relationships. Now, it could be you. And in the future, if you feel, I want to go and do something in Zimbabwe, that's the best way of meeting people. And then you can create and expand your network. So please don't forget, your social life is very important. You can be married. Please make friends. Meet people anywhere you feel you can meet people. The best places to meet people, I will tell you the example: your classroom. After the classroom, the student union is the best place to network as well. I can share my own personal experience with you. The church or the mosque, if you're a Muslim, if you're a Christian, the religious setting is a place for you to meet people. If you're not a Christian, you're not a Muslim. If you're from India, maybe you do Hindu or Buddhist, you can meet people in your religious setting. That is where you meet people from different places, from different mindset, different home and different background. And I can tell you, the more you meet diverse people, the more you, personally, yes, the more you build your diversity skills. Now, someone will ask me, how can my diversity skills help me? I will talk about that. But before I do that, I want to pick a question here. So, how does it take Lincoln? So, thank you so much, a student who is studying here from Lincoln. This is my private chat, but I'm happy to answer any questions regarding University of Lincoln because I work there, so it's fine. So, how does it take the University of Lincoln to give out offers letter after submitting your intention to study? Now, it depends. So currently, the university is working on lots of backlogs right now. We're working on lots of backlogs. We are currently processing application. So if you've applied, for instance, the September intake is closed already. Yes, September intake is very full already. And now we are currently working on CAS letter for students to be issued, for CAS letter for be used for visa application. That is what the University of Lincoln is working on right now. But if you're looking to study January, some courses in our business classes school is closed already. But if you're looking to do digital marketing is still open for January 2023 intake. You can put in your application. Our College of Arts programs are also still open and will be closing very soon. Please, if you've not put in your application, just go on www.lincoln.ac.uk and put in and chop in your application and they'll work on it. Now, application can take time. Can take time. This current period, offers are actually taking time. It's not because that the team are slow. It's because we have lots of backlogs, and it could take about 2, 3, 4 weeks. Now, depending on a case-to-case basis. So, for that person, if you have applied, I encourage you. You can email me on my work email at yogedengbe@lincoln.ac.uk. If you email me during the working hours, I will definitely reply back your email or send me your student ID number privately on my work email, and I'll check out for you and give you and revert to you. But please don't put your student ID on the public chat because your student ID is very private to you. Please, if you have any question, please do ask me. So, what is the payment plan like? Thank you so much, Lawrence, for joining. So now for Lincoln, I know my topic is about dual educational system. So please permit me, my other viewers, to talk about University of Lincoln for those who have the question. So the University of Lincoln, first of all, before I talk about the payment plan, it's good for you to know that we are in East Midland. We're not just in East Midland, we are in the middle, very close to London and very close to cities like Nottingham, Sheffield, and very exciting city, very small modern city, but bubbling as well at the same time. If you're someone who is looking for a very cool life to live and at the same time bubbling life, Lincoln is a very nice place to be. And the weekend, you can always travel to London if you want. London is this way. Nottingham, yeah, Nottingham is this way as well. If you're going to Glasgow, this way. So it's a very exciting place to be. Our payment plan for University of Lincoln is divided into three. We have three main payment plan. First of all, if you're coming to University of Lincoln, you need to pay your £3,000, which is for cash deposit. So when you pay your £3,000, you need to pay half of your fees before enrollment, while the remaining 50% can be spread across 9 months as installment. So if you need further information about the University of Lincoln payment plan, please go to the www.lincoln.ac.uk. Very easy. I've always mentioned to my viewers, I've already mentioned to you, Google is your friend. All you need to do is go on Google, you see everything there. Then go to the university website, put in payment on the search button. It will bring out the payment plan for you, and then you see how you can pay. But if you don't get it, please don't forget you can always reach me on my personal email, my work email rather. You can email me at yogidingbe@lincoln.ac.uk, telling me that you need more information about the payment plan, and I'll send you all the links that you want. So now let's go back to what the topic is about. How can you navigate yourself? Don't forget, I talked about the educational system. I talked about the social life. Don't forget, if you're married, you're not married, it's highly important for you to be very sociable. Now, social life, when people talk about social life, some people will think about, oh, it's about going to club, dancing, and doing blah, blah, blah. I mean, some people go out, meet friends, network. That's how you meet people. But you can also be social by going to gathering, conference, go to educational conferences, go to places where they do, go to student union events, go to community events, and that's how you meet people. And while you are also improving your social life, people, viewers, my lovelies, my loved ones, please don't restrict your friendships to your national alone, national. Don't say because I'm from Ghana, I want to just meet Ghanaian people. Don't say because I'm from Nigeria, my friend needs to be from Nigeria. Don't say because you are Indian, you need to be friends with just Indian. Don't forget there is power in networking. If you meet friends, come to the UK or US or Canada to study, or New Zealand or Spain, the first thing you should be thinking of is understanding the educational system. Second, your social life. Make friends with people from other countries because you don't know who they are. You don't know how useful they can be to you or for your family in the future. I remember I was speaking to one of my students. That's not one of my students in Lincoln. That was back in Glasgow. And I was just in an event, and the lady walked up to me and they said, "Oh, sorry, your face looked familiar." And I said, "I don't think we've met." And the lady said, "Oh, are you not Yetunde?" I said, "Yes, I'm Yetunde." Oh, he said, "Oh my God, it's lovely meeting you." I was like, "Okay, it's lovely meeting you too, but fortunately, I don't know your face." And then he said, "Oh, you can't remember my husband." I said, "I can't remember him." He said, "You know what? He had some things, and you gave him an advice, and trust me, that thing worked well. I'm really grateful. If you go to our house today, we have you on the wall." I said, "Wow, I never knew I did that good." And that's how life is about. You being able to talk, ask questions. Now that took me back to what life is about. At that time, if her husband didn't ask question or didn't even bother, asking people for things, he might have lost a particular opportunity that he was actually looking for. Now, that is why I'm drawing your attention right now. It's all about making friends. And I can tell you that person who isn't even from Nigeria. So, as I mentioned, when you come to the UK, try to make friends with people. Make friends with people from other countries. Make friends with people that are also from the UK as well. Because those who don't understand the system, they can tell you and give you some tips of what you need to know, especially when you're looking for opportunities especially when you're looking for opportunities in the UK. Please make sure you make friends around. Don't be an island. You're just a land surrounded by water. Don't even want friends. Don't even want to network. It would not help you. The more you make friends, the better for yourself. Dress code, dress sense. And this is for those who are not married yet. For those who are married, I know I'm not saying you should wear maybe they'll call it a jaga jaga dressing. Don't do a jaga jaga dressing. There's one adage that says dress the way you want to be addressed. If you dress well, package yourself well, you can get a job opportunity in the UK. Someone can say, "Oh, I love your dressing. What do you do?" And I say, "Oh, yeah. I mean, I love fashion as well. But I'm a student. I study engineering, but I also love doing fashion." And that's how you start talking. Those are the things that make people talk to you in the UK. If you are just on your own, well, sometimes if you are shabbily dressed, sometimes people can actually approach you to ask you, "Are you okay? Are you alright? Are you okay?" They ask you. But there's something they say: dress the way you want to be addressed. The dressing go a long way. If you're single, Biko, dress very well, make friends, go to a networking place and meet people. So, viewers, I will soon be ending. My video today is going to be very, very short. And next week, I would also come online and I will be having someone who will join me next week, Sunday, to talk about what you need to know about making friends. So if you know any of your friends that are single, please tell them to join the show next week, Sunday. I will tell them how to make friends, how to network. If you're married as well, it doesn't stop you of making network, because one day you might want to have a business, and it is the relationship that you've kept, and it's the way you have reacted or you have actually networked with people that will determine how far you go. Because there's one thing they say: your attitude determines your altitude. So don't forget, there is power in social networking. It mustn't be in the club. It can be in conference. It can be in a student union event. It can be anywhere. I mentioned my own personal life, my personal story. I came to study, and at the end of the day, because I was able to network, I met lots of people. Now, for me, I'm a very quiet person. If anyone admit I'm a very quiet person, I'm not a talkative. But when I'm on the show, I like talking about what I know best. So I was able to make friends, and I can tell you those friends were so powerful. They're so useful for me. They made a lot of impact in my life, and it's one thing I do encourage you. Please make friends. When you come to study, don't keep to yourself. Ask questions. If possible, join the student union association. Join the group. Example, personally, I joined the student union when I was doing my master's. And as a result of being part of student union, I found myself running to be a vice president for the School of Health and Life Science back then in Glasgow, years back in Glasgow. And I can tell you, those relationships helped me. I made relationship with students, with staff. Those things were very useful. They were useful to me. And it's one thing I'm encouraging you right now. If you're coming to any country, don't keep to yourself, because those relationships are very powerful, because they are what they call unwritten rules, and it's only when you get information that you can integrate into the environment. Without information, if you're not informed, it can be crazy, it can be stressful, it can be detrimental. Now, what else do you need to know? How can you integrate? I'm very sure you would have saved a lot of money if you're coming to study in the UK. Don't forget, find a way of making more cash for yourself in a legal way. In a legal way. If you're a student, remember you're entitled to just 20 hours to work. If you are the hardworking type, trust me, your 20 hours, you will definitely get something, depending on where you want to volunteer. Next week, I'll be inviting someone who is very special, who is currently a business analyst, a lady, a very beautiful lady. I will invite her next week, Sunday, to have a chat with you. And I promise, next week, Sunday, I'll promise to do a call-in show where you can call in on the show live. I'll provide you contact details on my show, or you can also call me on Facebook at that time, where we can both share ideas and then you can contribute onto the show. So next week, Sunday, we're going to be having a business analyst coming in who will share our own personal experience, how she was able to navigate her way around the UK, how she was able to get opportunities. And if you have any single ladies, any single guys, please tell them to join. And if you have any married man and any married woman, tell them to join, because when you're married, it doesn't stop you of making friends and networking, because that friend can also be useful for your family, especially when you're looking to do business. So please do make sure you are present for the next show. And I encourage you, if you're watching me right now and you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please don't let me beg you to subscribe. Please click on the subscribe button, because that's the only way you can use to support me and also support the show. And please share to any friends and family that you feel would need this major information. And I hope today you've been able to gain information about how to integrate. Actually, I've not given you all the tips. I want you to be here next week. So that's why I'm making this video very short and brief. And I still have a few minutes more, like 5 more minutes. If you have any question, please drop that down. Okay, so a question here: can an agricultural study be a jackpot plan for family? Thank you, ma. This is always a very controversial topic for me to discuss. I'll tell you because I work in a university. I manage a whole region in a university. I manage a whole region. So whatever point I make, I make sure I'm being truthful in whatever I say. So I manage a whole region. I manage Africa, interim. I manage Pakistan. So I manage a very big region. So I'm always very, very, particular about what I say and my choice of words. But one thing I would advise the students, one thing I would advise you, whatever you're going to in life, I may understand your country might be very difficult, and that's the reality. Some countries in Africa are not helpful. Some are helpful. Like Rwanda, I heard Rwanda is a very good country. Angola is a very good country. Nigeria is a good country, but we understand the whole issue of insecurity and what is happening. We understand. But when you're coming outside of your country, don't, in as much as that jackpot thing is in your spirit, permit me to see that. Don't forget that there is a need for you to have at one side of your mind that you are coming to explore. You're coming to make a great impact in that environment. And you're also coming to study if you're coming to study. If you hardly have a jackpot mentality, you might end up doing some things that could cause a problem for you. But once you have this mentality that, okay, fine, I want to come and study because I'm looking for a good life, I'm looking for a good environment. Please listen to this if you're not listening. And please, if you have anyone who have this Japa ideology, please share this video to them. It's good to Japa. Trust me, migration is not a big deal. Everybody, somewhere in this world, we are all migrants. Everyone across the globe are all migrants. Anybody can come to argue that. In the beginning of the world, which we don't know, is the story we always hear. People were reproduced. You'll be surprised that the way UK is today, UK, maybe in the past, UK wasn't as huge as this. Nigeria, we heard the history of the Yorubas, the Igbo, the Hausa, the Ibibio, how they begin to reproduce and everybody began to expand to different countries and different environments. Likewise, in Ghana, the Ashanti people, we hear the Ashanti news, you hear people from Ghana, in Accra, people in Kumasi, people from Kenya, Nairobi, Mombasa, Lusaka, in this thing. So people move. Everybody, we are all migrants wherever we are. But while we are thinking of migration, let's have the ideology that we are coming to a place to make impact. Trust me, if you have that ideology and then you have that mentality that you want to improve yourself, you will go far. And these are the tips I'm giving you right here today. In the process of you jackpotting, you can as well, at the end of the day, come in to study and you get a very good job that can sponsor you. At the end of the day, you work here and then you can always go back to your country to and fro as you want. Now, don't forget, there are many tips that can work for you. The social life is important. If you can put that at the right hand, it would help you. Understanding the educational system if you're coming to study is something. If you're the one studying, you have to integrate, understand the educational system. If you're coming with your spouse needs to be on top of their game as well. Don't just come and do, 95 all the time. And the process when your spouse is studying, make sure you yourself as a dependent, you're also improving your prospects. You're getting more certification. You're getting more opportunity. You're getting more experience. Somebody told me something. Hi, Olu. Thank you so much for joining. Jack Manjada must have a focus. Exactly. Thank you so much, Olu. You made a very good point. Jackpa agenda must have a focus regardless. Yes. If you're thinking about Jackpa, please, it must have a focus. If you come with a mentality that is about Jackpa, you might end up doing the Jackpa, and then some people do the Jackpa and become miserable in another person's land. But your agenda needs to be pure. If you're coming to study, improve yourself, improve your CV, get more accredited degree, or get more experience, you get a job. I mentioned in my past video, it's not about first class, second class, third class. It doesn't work like that in the UK. When you apply for a job, the first thing they look for is your experience. What do you have upstairs? What do you have upstairs? That's what they look at. If you don't even have that experience, go on YouTube, go on Google, go and learn those experiences. I've had somebody who is from a science background. I'm going to bring in a person on the show next week, Sunday, and you're going to learn a lot from her. Last week, I had a very special person, Ketch. She's from a science background, and she talked to you. She mentioned how she was able to get a job right from Nigeria down to the UK. And we have lots of people who get jobs even to Canada, to Australia, because they were able to get the main important points. You know, she's a biomedical scientist. She was able to get a certification right from Nigeria, and she got a job. And there wasn't fine, the old jackpot thing, but she had a purpose. So before you think about jackpot, think of your own purpose. Have a particular purpose. Have a genuine purpose. If you have that, trust me, the sky will definitely be your limit. The sky will be your limit. Please, while you're having a jackpot agenda, please remember you need to have your own purpose. Your purpose is very powerful, and that is what you need to have, that purpose. So next week, Sunday, I'm going to be bringing a business analyst, and this business analyst is somebody from a science background. She was able to move from from science background to a business analyst. That is a total different field. And I would encourage you, if you're not going to be around, try to be around next week, Sunday, so that you can come and learn and get information and see how you can navigate your way around your system, your environment. And trust me, once you know those tips, you understand these unwritten rules, the sky will definitely be your limit. Someone was asking me, what is this Eroli shirt I'm wearing? So Eroli is just I went to went to an educational conference, and I was lucky enough. I told them about what I do, and then I was given this to share. Eroli is, of course, is an app. They work with different universities, and they handle CAS system. They also handle application system for different universities. So it's a brand from a whole top IT brand, yeah, the tech brand. So yeah, so as I mentioned, you must have your agenda. Your agenda must be genuine. Don't do jackpot because you want to run away. It doesn't work for anybody. It will not help you. Don't be miserable in another person's land, or even be miserable in your own land. Have your own agenda. You're coming to study. I want to do this course because I want to move in my career prospects. We all know, even the people who are doing the visa, they know that when you have a job, they can't stop you of staying if you are sponsored in any country you go to. So you should also have that at the back of your mind. Yeah, so I'll be ending this show very soon. I promise myself I will not stay up to an hour. This time around, I'm going out of time. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week, please don't miss out. It's really going to be fun next week. I'll be bringing a lovely, beautiful lady who was able to move from a science background to a business analyst, and she's doing extremely well in her field. And I will share with you, or she will share with you, the experiences in the UK, how that is applicable to other countries. She's also going to share with you what you need to know. As I mentioned, it's not about your first class, your second class, your third class. Why those are good when you're looking for scholarships. But when you're looking for jobs, it's about what you have upstairs. And trust me, there are lots of free IT courses or business or design free training online on Google you can actually do, on LinkedIn that you can do, that can be added to your CV, that would give you a job opportunities. So it's just all about you going online to research for those opportunities. So yes, my lovely people, thank you so much for joining me, and I'm going to see you next week. Now, for those who are traveling, or if you're traveling, please try to join online. But this video will also be available on YouTube. So for those who are not able to watch, please feel free to watch. And if you've not watched my previous show, please endeavor to go to my past shows, watch them, because they are very, very useful, and it would help you a lot. So, guys, I hope you've been able to enjoy everything you need to enjoy. And I will see you next week, Sunday, the same time by 4 p.m. This time around, it's going to be 4 p.m. I'm going to be bringing a very beautiful lady, as I mentioned, who will talk about how to get experience. She will also share with you how you can integrate if you're married, how you can integrate, you can still integrate. You're integrating not because you want to just, you want to make business, you want to network. It's very important. If you're single, you want to mingle, and then you want to have a business plan, try to network. Go to conferences, make friends from different countries. Don't restrict yourself to all Niger, Ghanaian, Charlie, your fellow Charlie, or your Zimbabwe friends only. Make friends, network. And once you always remember, viewers, your attitude determines your attitude. So I'll see you this time next week, Sunday. Do have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day ahead. Love you all and goodbye, wherever you are across the world. Take care.
I just